Pakistan's new Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari is in the United States, and on his maiden visit to the US as External Affairs Minister, Bilawal raked up the Kashmir issue at the United Nations Security Council. Now, India has issued a stern rebuttal to the unsolicited comments from Pakistan's Foreign Minister. Pakistan's newly appointed Foreign Minister referred to the inaction of the United Nations on Kashmir. Bilawal Bhutto went on to call abrogation of Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir illegal. Under Article 370 of the Indian Constitution, Jammu and Kashmir had a special status until 2019. India responded to Bilawal's comments at the UNSC open debate by slamming Pakistan for sponsoring state terrorism. It has also been reiterated by India that the Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh were, are, and will always remain an integral and inalienable part of India. This includes the areas that are under the illegal occupation of Pakistan. Further adding that no amount of rhetoric and propaganda will change this fact.
Countries at the moment.
Now, Bilawal Bhutto held a conference at the United Nations where WION correspondent Susan Tehrani asked him whether it was time for Pakistan to reach out to neighbor India for dialogue. Bilawal Bhutto gave a list of reasons for not doing so anytime soon. He raised the Kashmir issue all over again, saying the ties are particularly complicated by measures taken by India in Kashmir.
Minister Susan Tehrani from WION. Do you think it's time that Pakistan reached out for dialogue with India? And also my second question is, after your meeting with Secretary Clinton, just to follow up on that, what you just mentioned, do you think that Pakistani-U.S. relations has had a reset in a way?
We are very cognizant of the fact that economic activity, dialogue, diplomacy are ultimately the ways and means for countries to engage with each other and resolve disputes. I just note that particularly at the moment, given this aggressive, hostile behavior, the practical space for that happening is very limited.
The Pakistan Foreign Minister also said that the country is seeking to broaden ties with the US. Bilawal asserted Islamabad is looking to pivot to a more broad-based relationship with a particular emphasis on trade. The statement comes a day after he met US Secretary of State Antony Blinken.
Pakistan is not insecure about our relationship with the United States, and we believe that the world is big enough for both Pakistan and India to exist. So we see that the United States has absolutely got its own relationship with the government of India, with the people of India, but the United States also has its own relationship with Pakistan and the people of Pakistan. Regardless of the trajectory of U.S. India relations, I believe that there is a lot of potential for Pakistan-US relations, and it is to the benefit of the people of Pakistan and the people of America that both our governments engage, and we look to provide opportunities to both our people to benefit from our relationship.
Bilawal Bhutto was appointed by Pakistan's new Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif 3 weeks ago. Under Imran Khan's premiership, the US-Pakistan ties were deteriorating as Khan was snubbed by Joe Biden, following which Khan had started to shift away from the West and began engaging more with China and Russia. US-Pakistan relations sunk lower after Imran Khan leveled accusations on the Biden administration for his ouster. However, with a change of administration in Pakistan, Washington's approach toward Pakistan has also taken a U-turn. Meanwhile, the new foreign minister has defended Imran Khan's Moscow visit. He reasoned, saying there was no way for the former prime minister to know that Russia would invade Ukraine on the day he landed in the Russian capital. Remember, Pakistan is under Western-led pressure to condemn the invasion of Ukraine by Russia. Now, for more details on this, we have a report from our correspondent, Siddhan Sybil.
First, talking about India's stance, India has said that what it has been saying for a long time, stated India's policy of basically Pakistan, if it takes Jammu and Kashmir, it does get slammed. And of course, reminding Islamabad that Jammu Kashmir is an integral part of India. It will remain so, and Pakistan needs to act on terrorism. But was it a surprise that Bilawal Bhutto, in his visit to US and to United Nations, raked up Kashmir? Well, it wasn't a surprise for the Indian government and of course the people who are following the visit, because this has been the standard protocol for the Pakistani establishment, whosoever is in the government, whether it's PTI, whether it's Imran Khan, whether it's the PPP. Of course, the Foreign Minister is from the PPP party, that's People's Party of Pakistan. But largely, if you look at what has been happening since the new government has taken over, there has been a subtle change, essentially with both sides writing to each other. We saw prime ministers of both the countries writing to each other, and also Pakistan side appointing a trade minister, Minister Trade at its mission here in Delhi. But does it mean that there will be talks soon? It doesn't look given the fact that Pakistan goes to election in a year's time, and it will be kind of a political suicide for the establishment there to have a completely U-turn policy against India, what Imran Khan has been doing, because that will make sure that Imran Khan uses that against the current establishment during the elections which are due to happen very soon.
WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.